10 things men unknowingly do on a date that women find irresistibly attractive. I mean, I had to read that. Thanks so much for joining us again on Second Act TV. Want to welcome back Joni Caldwell Lerner, the host of Wake Up with Joni, and one of our best dating and motivational coaches. Joni, thanks again for being here.
You're very welcome. And I'm one of your goofiest ones for sure, but we have a good time.
We do have a good time, and we hope today we're going to have some information that I think is kind of interesting. We're always giving advice on how to have more success on dates, what to do, what not to do. And this segment today is for our men. Again, I ran across this article that it says here 10 things men unknowingly do on a date that women find irresistibly attractive. I mean, I had to read that. What do men do that they don't even know? Well, if you don't know it, then we're going to tell you.
Yes. And I concur with all 10. I got to tell you, I went through and went, yep, yep.
Yeah. I concur with most of them. That's why I love having these conversations about, let's seriously think about how we feel. Again, this was written by a younger woman, so some of it is a little tongue-in-cheek and also very funny, but also reflects perhaps a younger stage in life. But there are some great points, like you said. Yeah. Yep. So let's just jump right into it. 1, giving her your full attention seems so simple, yet a lot of men don't. Talk to me about that.
No brainer. It is a no brainer. So guys, if your first date is at a sports bra, your first date's at a sports bar, same number of consonants. Anyway, if your first date is at a sports bar, for example, and there are giant TVs with your favorite sport on, not a good first date if you can't keep from getting distracted. And if you walk in and you didn't realize that was going to happen, then sit with your back to the TVs, because this is, it seems like a no-brainer. Pay attention to her. It is like the magical elixir of ambrosia, to look into her eyes, to pay attention. John knew how to do this, man. He was like, hi. And he's got these blue eyes. And I'm like, hi.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
That's funny. It's funny that you brought up a sports bar. Those were actually my first dates with Paul, and he can't take his eyes off the TV. But the way he did it, we always sit at the bar, so it's in front of us. But he involved me in the whole conversation or the game, and I was truly interested. I mean, I like watching football as well, so that was okay. So I guess it may be in the way how you do it, but you still don't tune her out. Or we just did a segment not that I'll link to. Don't be on your phone. Don't be on your phone and fub, and you'll learn what that is from the segment we just did.
Yeah, great. I love. Our experiences are not the same, which is why I love having conversations with you, because that's a great point. Let's say she's really into football. My sister, she knows every team, every position. She knows what play is going to come up. She digs it, man. It wouldn't be my first date choice. But you're absolutely right. And then talk to her about it.
Yeah, exactly. So
pay full attention. Pay full attention
to saying her name in conversation.
This is
why do we like to hear our name so much?
Well, it's interesting because I was taught this by the person who taught me coaching, my mentor a decade ago. Say their name. So Silka, tell me more about that. So I love what you're saying, Silka, because blah, blah, blah. And it anchors in and it makes them feel really, we're back to being seen, makes them feel seen and heard. And it's unique. Your name is unique to you. Special. Makes you feel special.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Number three, and I love this, when he pauses to take a good look, meaning a good look at you, that makes him more attractive. I love what she says here, not the creepy stare, but that half closed gaze, and brownie points for keeping a hand on the chin while doing it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you
There.
think, Joan? Do you like
Well,
being stared at half gaze?
I like the attention of the connection. So
Mm-hmm.
it comes back to the one we just talked about, which is being seen.
Yeah.
There are men in our age group, over 50. That's basically who we're talking to,
Right.
okay, below or above. But there are guys our age that can totally pull that off.
Mm-hmm.
They have a charm, a savoir faire. So,
Well, and
but if
you
you're
said a
not
good.
comfortable, don't try it.
Yeah, I was going to say this has to come authentically. If that's something, if you truly are
Yeah.
happy with what you're seeing, otherwise that could work against you.
Yeah, kind of like this maybe.
That's a good one. So you can do it much better than I can. It's funny. Here's a good one, and I think speaks to our demographic. Tipping generously. That's always said something to me. I mean, it's obviously you need to be good to the wait staff and treat
Yeah.
them respectfully. That's actually a big red sign if they're not. But then the tipping generous, like, that gets my attention.
Not tipping stupid generously,
Right.
but maybe 20%.
Mm-hmm.
So I come from I was a waitress. That's how I put
Mm-hmm.
myself through college.
Right. Me too.
And yeah. And so I can calculate a tip like nobody's business still to this day.
This one I'm not sure about. Show his goofy side, that when he makes her laugh, not only with his jokes, but by being his goofy best. I don't know that. What do you think?
All right. So let's change the word.
Yes.
Let's call it playful or less serious or
I like
jovial or something like that. But goofy, I just think of the cartoon with the ears.
Yeah, I know. Well, she makes a point that well, that the class clown always had lots of girls around him, but the class clown didn't get those girls. He might have had them around him, but they didn't go on dates together. So goofy, yeah, I thought you're right. It's the word playful. Playful is great, and that I think is for both men and women. If you can show your playful side, you're going to be seen come over as a lot more attractive.
Yeah, the word is delicious. I think a good sense of humor is delicious. So
I like
yummy
that
to me. Yeah,
I like that. That. Now here's one. Here's one. When he is sweet to a baby. If the guy acknowledges a random baby in a park and smiles or waves, it's just the cutest thing. It could be a human or an animal, but it's just the same. It just makes me melt. I'm sorry. I'm not. I'll let you answer first, and then I'll give you my opinion.
I know your opinion just by the tone in your voice. If he looks at a baby. Listen, if it goes back to what you were saying, kindness for our generation, just be kind. You don't have to pet a baby or pat a dog.
Yeah, what came to me when I read this, what would really make a man, or if, for that matter, anybody attractive, is not the baby. Everybody thinks babies are cute. There's nothing, not doing anything otherwise. Puppies are cute, yeah, but be nice or do something out of the ordinary for somebody or with somebody that other people normally would not approach, like somebody perhaps who's mentally challenged, physically challenged,
Yes.
homeless.
Interesting.
I have the best stories about Paul there. Anytime I get mad at him, I think about two events. I won't bore you with it now, but how he had handled that, it just, what a great person. That's the heart that I'm in love with. And I think that means so much to me anyway.
This happened just last week. We were at a party and there was a young man, 28 years old, and he's on the spectrum, Down syndrome. He has Down syndrome. And I glanced over and I waved to him and, whatever. And then I went back to my conversation. I glance over again and John is fully engaged in a conversation with this young man. And they're talking about food, which is one of his favorite subjects anyway. And I went, oh my God.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
No, that to me is a huge point. So anyway, I wanted to clarify that. Keeping a hand on her back, and I guess once maybe you have permission to touch, like, which I know is an issue now, but while leading her to a seat in a restaurant or on the street, is that protectiveness of, yeah, if I want the man to touch me, absolutely, I like it if I want him to touch me. Mm-hmm.
Yes, great point. Important, critical point. So you need to establish that first, maybe not on a first date. I find it very, I keep coming up with food analogies. I find it very yummy. I like it. I like it. And the one thing I did want to say, and we might have talked about this on another segment, I have been moved to the inside of the sidewalk. So the man is this is a gentleman, right? The man is on the outside to protect. I don't know how he's going to stop the Mack truck, but he's going to be on the outside. And I found that very protective. There's a security in it, and thoughtful, mindful. That's just me.
Yeah. No, it is. And I think that really actually speaks more to our generation, which I was a little surprised to see it. One, because you don't talk about touching, on the first date, and because that's so much more difficult now. And then just, I don't think a lot of young men don't realize that that's a chivalrous move. But anyway, yes, certainly for our generation, as you just said, I like that as well. This is an interesting one. I actually hadn't heard this or thought about it. Caressing her thumb while holding hands, while hand in hand, gently caress her thumb as she's talking or you're engaging. I've never thought of that.
I was just doing that to myself as you were saying that. I'm like, it's really intimate. It's an intimate gesture, and it's also respectful in a way. I mean, it's not a lecherous thing. If anything is a lecherous thing, no. But if you have established a connection and enough to hold hands where you're comfortable holding hands, and he does that, then that's very sweet. It's very, because what it's saying is he's paying attention to the fact that your hands are together. He's touching your skin. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
I never thought about it like that. Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. You're welcome.
Well, I think the other part of that particular one of the article that you sent me, it said something about kissing. Is this a different one?
Yes, it's a different one, but that's the next one. Kissing her non-erogenous, I can't say that, spots. Yeah. That you can kiss her neck and lips to seduce her, but a peck on the non-seductive parts of her body, like nose, hands, forehead, or something like that. Go ahead.
Okay, well, so I take exception to the nose thing. I don't know why. I have a thing about my nose. I've never liked my nose. So don't kiss my nose. But somebody once kissed my forehead, and I went, oh, that's so sweet. It was just, it was affection without being intrusive.
Yeah.
I know.
And I agree with the nose. Don't kiss me on the nose.
Because it feels condescending. That's what it is. It feels condescending to me, the nose thing. But somehow the forehead is sweet.
Well, that'll be interesting to hear in comments from other women. Definitely. How do you feel about this one? Because I know I had a strong reaction to that. You did. Do you like to be kissed on the nose?
No.
That's so funny.
Yeah, and there are no right answers. This is really
exactly
great point. So there are no right answers, and we get some of the most amazing comments. This is my experience. This is what happened to me, and this is my recommendation. I'm like, oh, I wish I would have said that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, please join in, because again, these are tips for guys that again, the title was very catchy, unknowingly, do. Now you can do it knowingly as long as it's authentic.
Yes. Yeah.
Lastly, and I love this one, checking up on her. That if you, like a simple, text me when you get home safe. If you're not, if you met somewhere and you're not escorting her home, just caring that you got home safe.
I love that one. Text me when you get home just to make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
That's very sweet. It's very respectful. And then if you don't hear from her, like if it was only a 20-minute shot, it was like an hour later, you can go, you good? Are you dead on the street? No, don't say that.
That's fun. Yeah.
Think about that. Yeah. Are you good? And then she go, oh, sorry, I meant to text you. And now you've got a little exchange. So
no, the very, very conscientious is this word I'm looking for.
Yes. I mean, I did that with my daughter was staying here, and we have bears on the mountain. So from the main house to the cabin where she's staying, I would walk with her. It's just respectful, and it's sweet, and it's protective, and it's kind, and it's, I mean, I'm used to it, and I've got the air horn and all that stuff. You don't take an air horn.
Don't take an air horn. Oh my God. Oh, that's too funny, Joni. Well, those were the 10. Okay. What do you think? Anything else you want to add here?
It always comes down to have confidence, do what feels natural and right to you, read the room. If if she doesn't seem like a touchy-feely kind of person, read that, and if she's super touchy-feely, like she touches your arm when she talks, then you can touch her arm back or whatever. But that's what I would say.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think there's some really good tips here. She's very funny the way she wrote it. Again, we, gave our opinion on what we think works and what doesn't. Would love to hear yours. So, take it with a grain of salt, take it literally.
Whatever. And don't take an air horn though.
Don't take an air horn. Joni, thank you. Please be sure to tune into Joni's podcast, Wake Up with Joni. And if you want to talk more about how to be more attractive to a woman, Joni, of course, is a great coach. I'll have all of your information up on our site as usual. And Joni, thank you so much again. And we'll see you next time on Second Act TV.
Thank you.